Welcome to Monday Mukbang.
Welcome back to Monday Mukbangs.
Let me know when.
Just a couple more. I mean, I don't know how many is in here, so I'll start with that.
Okay.
I'll go from there. So today on our Monday Mukbang,
We need to get a spoon.
We're gonna use this spoon.
Oh, you wanted to use that spoon?
I do.
Okay.
It's just sauce. It's okay. I figured. Okay.
Welcome to Monday Mukbang.
Sorry, guys. Here, you do.
we are planning to eat the raviolis we have in front of us.
Yes.
And these are not regular raviolis. We actually found these at Walmart, right?
Yes.
In the frozen section.
We did.
Yeah.
These are Rising Moon. Here, I don't know if you guys, the camera will pick up all that detail, but this is the Rising Moon Organic Butternut Squash Ravioli. It does have the certified vegan symbol on it. And yeah, the ingredients for the ingredients for the pasta is organic wheat flour, water, organic turmeric oil. And the filling is butternut squash puree, organic butternut squash puree, organic evaporated cane juice, organic potato flakes, sea salt, organic garlic, organic onion powder, organic black pepper, organic nutmeg powder.
Yum.
And that's it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of ingredients.
So there's not a lot of ingredients in here. But we figured we'd give them a try.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some sauce on them here. John did taste one to make sure that they were fully cooked. And he gave me a little bite of it. And I'm interested to see how this is gonna taste with the sauce. Do you remember what sauce we're using?
Yes, we're using garden vegetable. We're using garden vegetable.
Something wrong?
Borelli.
I'm good.
Okay. Would you like?
John's laughing because he knows that I'm not a huge fan of chunky tomato sauce.
If you'd like, I can go get the bottle.
No, it's fine.
It's.
So he's laughing because he was scooping me out some sauce and he kept seeing all of the chunks that he was giving me, and that's why he was laughing, right?
Yes. I was laughing at her chunks.
Which I'll just eat around, it's okay. But we've never tried these other than the one that John had when he was making sure they were cooked fully.
Yeah, and they're good.
And at least without sauce, to me, it was very sweet.
Yes, they're.
Now it did have sugar in it, and then butternut squash in and of itself isn't a savory vegetable. It's on the sweeter side. If it is a is butternut is squash a vegetable? Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Because Neil's making me wear spaghetti sauce.
Oh, let's not do that. So what we thought we would talk about today is something very relevant in my life right now, at least.
And mine.
Is stress and how we deal with stress. Because I'm having a really hard time. And what I'd really like you guys to do is let us know in the comment section down below how you handle stress,
right, and
things you do to try to
alleviate
it or make it less stressful for you. Especially as we talk about, like I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the reasons why I'm dealing with stress right now, and I'm sure John will give us a little bit of insight on his issues as well. So you know, just because I'm dealing with stress in a different manner than what they're both job related, I'm assuming. I don't have any.
Yeah.
And you have some medical things that you've got going on.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, yeah.
But mine is definitely job related, and it's definitely causing me stress. And Neil can probably talk about how much stress we cause him with us trying to have him decide what to do with the rest of his life. What is he going to major in college? You know, how's his grades going, that sort of thing. So he does experience stress. Actually, before we turned the camera on, I said we were gonna talk about stress. He's like, I have no stress at all. Yeah, he has some stress.
I haven't had stress in 15 years.
Yeah. So you were stressed when you were 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
when you were.
Yeah.
So you were more stressed when you were born.
I was stressed because I didn't know whether or not I could live.
You didn't know if you were going to make it to be potty trained, or.
So I'll say this: with the tomato sauce, it doesn't taste as sweet, I think.
Yes.
They really go well together.
I picked this tomato sauce, even though it was chunky, because I thought in the past it was very.
You gonna get down, honey? No,
hearty.
this is not for you. Come on, get down. Thank you. So who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
the stress that I'm experiencing, I'm gonna label as sort of systemic stress, in that unfortunately, due to where we live and what I do as a profession, which is teach, schools are under a lot of stress right now, and it's not something that
at this time.
Yeah, as a child, I do not. I mean, I remember having the drills, the fire drills, and I'm old enough to remember at least one. I remember doing one, like nuclear bomb drill, where we got underneath our desks and prepared for a bomb to strike the building. I mean, amazingly, that and the hurricane stuff all look the same. The only time we ever got any drill when I was in school, or one that was at least somewhat fun, was fire drill.
You get to go outside.
And we get to go outside. Currently, my school, the school I work at, the school that my sons go to, every school, unfortunately, is prepared now for this unknown threat, and it is horrible. You don't realize because of where I work in a high school, we're a large group of people amassed in one building. There are more people in my building than I would even say in maybe one of Jessica's buildings. I don't know. No? How many people in one of your building? The building you worked in?
Probably maybe around 400.
Yeah, not by much, but I'm at least another 100, 200 more than you. Well, I'm going to tell you that it's a lot. That is a lot of stress.
Having that many people in a building?
No. Having to prepare and talk to children about what you're supposed to do. We're going through this thing where, see something, say something. We're talking to children about, okay, if I tell you to, you got to go here. If I tell you to, you got to go there. Well, why is that? Or I don't really feel like doing that. And you have to explain to them, well, in this scenario, we're doing this for X. And it's tough. And you got to send home information to parents. Pardon me. You got to send home information to parents about why this drill's going on and why it's upsetting this kid's school day. And it's tough. And it's all in an effort to try and keep everybody safe. And knowing that you're a target is stressful. And to be honest with you, the best thing that I feel like I can do are these drills, and making sure that everybody that's in my room and in my area and that I work with has a plan and is able to move forward. And that's how I'm dealing with that stress. I mean, I know that for me, it is a relief to know that these unfortunate circumstances are at least bringing some attention to and some focus on what to do, and what is actionable, and what can we do to make sure that in the event of tragedy, whether it be, and the funny thing about it is that as a school district, we're going through, we're looking at all sorts of drills and what what can we be better prepared for, like weather events and so on and so forth, and what is our best response to any event, and being prepared for those things. And I really, I not only want to list it as a stress, but I'm sort of happy that at least I'm not somewhere where they're not doing anything, because not doing anything would make me crazy at this point. I wouldn't know what to do. Knowing that I can talk to my staff and no one's going to be like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Why are you worried about that? Being able to talk to some of the children and some of the adults that come into my room to help, like, this is what we're gonna do, guys. If anything happens, and we're gonna shut the door, and we're gonna break out the chocolate, and we're all gonna sit in the corner, and we're all gonna be okay. And that's really, I mean, if I had to label something that's causing me the most stress, other than medical issues on a personal level, that's, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be very optimistic. I feel like my current course of treatment, which is a 3-pronged approach, seems to, I feel better. So I'm hoping that I become better. And that's my stress, and that's how I plan to solve it.
Honestly, I don't really like this ravioli.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Not to be totally flippant, I'm not trying to be flippant or anything like that. It's too sweet for me, which is crazy because I really like sweet stuff. I'm much more sweet eater than a savory eater, and this is just too sweet for me.
Well,
it was okay at first, but then the more I ate of it, it just wasn't, I don't know. It's just too sweet for me.
I can tell you that, like, if I could, like, make this stuff, I would put a little bit of, I don't know, garlic or...
That has garlic.
More garlic.
Yeah.
In the center, or try to use like a, I don't know, what was I thinking? I had something in mind, like that would be savory.
So Neil, what do you, how do you handle stress?
How do I handle stress? Ooh. Being a young adult, the ripe age of 18, looking onwards into the sunset of life.
What?
Peering through the hole that is my life and what I want to do with it. It's a fun time, I gotta tell you. No stress. I sit in a chair.
Play the video game.
Play the game. Help the game.
So you handle stress by ignoring it.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. If I really have stress, if I really have like this deep, meaningful stress that I can't really ignore, like if it's stress that it's just bothering me constantly, it's such a range that I myself just can't ignore it. I tend to do one of two things.
Yeah. What's that?
I tend to just walk. I guess that is kind of more ignoring it, but I tend to just go like on a walk of some sort.
It depends, son. I mean, are you thinking on the walk? I mean, are you doing any
planning?
When's the buttercup?
I just kind of let everything go when doing a walk, so I feel more like, I guess you could say, free-spirited. Just have that kind of feeling that I am not at home. I'm not doing anything. I'm more of letting everything just go at that point, and just having everything kind of reset, having what I need, having everything reset, and really have put what is number one at the forefront by the end of it all. It can be short, it can be long. I mean, number of things could happen on it. I could walk in total silence.
Hap on it.
Happen.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say hap on. I can walk in total silence. Walk with a video talking in the background. Have music playing. I go on a walk. That's one thing.
Walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off. You know, like a physical issue. Walk it off. Secondly, is probably right. It's weird. It's at the times I've felt the most stress is the times I've wanted to write the most. Sorry, I froze there because I was thinking of what else to say, and I couldn't think of the next word that came to my mind. And no other word came to my mind. But really, I usually write under stress, and I write fast. It's more of like it's more like seeing how long your tires can burn out on a car. Really, that's what writing under stress is for me.
This sounds like a school deadline.
No, it has nothing to do with school.
Okay.
Also, I'm doing good in school. I'm gonna preface that. Because, you know,
They want to know.
you want to know, and these two want to know. I'm doing good in school. I'm doing all right. All right. So overall, I either write or walk it off. Other than that, I just kind of ignore it. I try and reset, make everything, recalculate, make sure everything's I'm either on the right track, wrong track, and trying to get back on the right track, or just somewhere in between. Stress on how I gain it, how I gain stress in my daily life these days. I really haven't been under stress, and that's why I make the joke. That's why I made the joke before the video started that I don't have any stress, because at this point I don't really have any stress.
Well, it's nice that you acknowledge that.
Like I'm usually school is a big. I know my mother mentioned it, but school usually is a stressor for me, and at this point in time it really hasn't been. I've been chugging along, make sure everything's all right. I think really the biggest stress, which will come in 5 months from now, really, is the major decision of what I really want to do in terms of schooling and what I want to.
We're like 2 months from now.
Well, if you say 2, I say 5. There'll be a range somewhere in there. And what I want to do.
Well, you have to register for fall classes in 2 months.
So that'll really come. That'll really come for me at that point in time. But as for right now, or at least the last time I really had stress, I mean, it's been a couple months. I gotta say, probably ever since December. No, not really December. More like January. I really haven't had much stress lately. But you know, I've been, I guess, really trying to not have that happen. I've been taking walks preemptively, not because I'm stressed, but because I just I usually do it on occasion if I want to. So I do that. So I do that sometimes. But other than that, I really haven't had much stress since in the last month or two, month and a half, and really dealing with stress. Now I know I have more stress to come, bigger things to stress about, and the magnitude of being stressed about those things will be bigger than what I have had to deal with at this point in life. But at this moment, I do not have stress, work-related, school-related, or generally even personal. Anyway,
Okay.
you're up, and I'm gonna sit here and think about.
Sit how stress-free you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am very stressed right now. I am a project manager at my job, at my office, and as a project manager, I oversee the implementation or the development of IT systems, coding. And I have a team that works for me for my project right now that are good people. They just struggle with making deadlines. And
Sounds like me.
I don't like to fail. Personally, like myself, I don't like to fail. I can sympathize with people who fail at things, and failure is a wide range. It's defined differently for every person. But my project is really struggling to make deadline right now, and I'm putting a lot of stress on myself because although I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, I'm not an application developer, I'm not a business analyst. So those are the people who really do the work, and without them there is no project. But I'm not either one of them, but as the project manager I feel responsible for the project. It's my baby, and we are really struggling to meet deadlines, and I take that as a personal failure, and I know I shouldn't, but I do. And because of that, I'm putting a lot of stress on myself. And I'm starting to wonder if it's good for my health to continue to do this project specifically, or even still work for this organization. I like being there, but for my health, for my sanity, for my, just for myself and for my relationship with my family, having the level of stress that I'm putting upon myself right now is not healthy. And the way I handle stress is not healthy. I am very much a stress eater. When I get highly stressed, I want to eat a lot of comfort foods. I want to, like, I can't tell you how many times in the last month I've said to John when he said, what do you want for dinner? I said, let's just get pizza, because that's a comfort food for me. And we've probably in the last 4 weeks eaten pizza at least 6 times, 8 times maybe twice a week. That is a comfort food for me. And it's not healthy for me at all. But
worst foods for eating.
There are definitely worse foods. And I'm very much a sugar eater too. So like refined sugar, again, not healthy in any way, shape, or form. But I tend to eat away my problems. And I don't eat like a ton of it, but sugar is very high caloric for very low return. So where I might eat like 4 or 5 pieces of candy, like not like candy, but like, you know, 4 or 5 little single piece candies, that's really not healthy for me. Or, you know, I eat 2 slices of pizza, which is really all I can eat. I can't, and my stomach is the same size. I'm not one of those people who have a big stomach. I'm not somebody who can really stuff myself full, but I'll eat 2 slices of pizza. Now, some people might think that's a lot. Some people might think that's hardly any at all. And everybody else in the house can eat way more than 2 slices of pizza if they allow themselves to. But I typically will eat 2 slices of pizza, and you know, there are other comfort foods too. I really like donuts and bagels and you know, that kind of stuff. Pasta. I really like pasta. So, you know, I definitely eat for my comfort. But even that recently, my stress has been so high that even that recently.
That's garlic. Don't give that to the dog. Sorry. Even that recently has been not really helping. So I know a lot of people say that they exercise to relieve stress. I mean, Neil was even pretty much saying he exercises to relieve stress, but by the time I get out of work and I get home, I'm so exhausted that, like, we're filming this at night and I'm ready to go to bed. I think it's only like 6:30 at night. Yeah. But I'm ready to go to bed. I'm so exhausted from my day at work because I care so much about what I do that I'm exhausted. And it affects my sleeping, it affects everything. So, Wednesday! I'll keep doing what I'm doing, trying to do better. But yeah, you know, any tips or tricks that you guys use to help relieve stress, I would love to read them. Because definitely need something a little bit healthier than just eating 2 slices of pizza and 5 pieces of candy. Because that's definitely not the healthiest for me. So I don't know. Like I said, I've got to try to decide if I ask to be reassigned to another project, if I find another job, find another company to go work for. I just don't do well with the stress of feeling like a failure. And for me, this is a failure. I've worked with numerous project managers from all different companies, all different types of work, all different functionalities, all different types of services. And I can't say that I've ever met a project manager who takes as much personally in a project. I can't tell you how many other project managers I have spoken to that just are like, well, if you don't meet this deadline, you'll meet the next one. Not that they don't take deadlines seriously, but they'll always come up with some reason or some excuse or something as to why they didn't meet it. And I really take that upon myself. I feel like that the project failure is a failure of my own, and it's not the best. I shouldn't be doing that, but I do. I think it shows people how much I care about what I do, but
maybe not. Maybe there's people out there who are like, what do you mean? That's not what you're supposed to do. Actually, I went to a project manager training a couple months ago, about 6 months ago actually, to get my certification. And during that certification training, I got told a couple of things. Number one, I was told, you know too much, forget everything you learned, and just learn what's in the book. So I was told that, which was kind of funny. She's like, you're too experienced. The trainer told me I had too much experience to get certified. And then the other thing...
She passed the test.
The other thing that that she told me was, you know, a project manager's job is not to make the project a success. The project manager's job is to continue to motivate your team, make sure that your schedules and your budget are solid, and report any information you can. Good, bad, or otherwise, you're a reporter. You're somebody who's gonna just report the issues, report this current status, and that's it. She said you're not responsible for the success or failure of a project because you're not the one doing the work. You are talking to the people doing the work, asking them for estimates, creating a schedule based on their estimates, and if they don't meet their estimates, it's their fault that they didn't do the work. It's their fault that they didn't make the deadlines. But it doesn't make me care any less, and it doesn't make me not take ownership just because one person said that. And I've seen project managers fired from their jobs because their projects slipped, because they didn't meet deadlines, even though it's not their job to make sure that it gets done. They're there as a reporter. And I'm oversimplifying it, obviously, but I don't know, I guess I just care too much. So, anyhow, on that happy note, if you like this video, not that you like us being under stress, but if you can sympathize with being under stress, give us a thumbs up down below. We do appreciate that. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when we do upload videos. Honestly, hitting that subscribe button really helps us out, like, tremendously. We're that close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So if you like this video at all, please hit that red subscribe button. And let me know in the comment section down below how you handle stress. And what are some of your tips and tricks to avoid those comfort foods. Or avoid other things, you know. It sounds like Neil does pretty good with his. Anyhow, your comments are definitely appreciated. For some reason, John's giving Wednesday a piggyback ride. But yeah, thanks for watching Omnis Vegan, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.